Egyptian lawyer sues Netflix over Queen Cleopatra. Okay. That sounds gangster. Egyptian lawyer Mohammed Al-Samari, hope I'm pronouncing his name wrong. I'm probably not, so please forgive me, has filed a case with the public prosecutor to shut down the Netflix platform in Egypt. Damn. That's crazy. Following the trailer release of Queen Cleopatra, a new documentary depicting the historical figure as a black woman. Okay, I can see the issue there. She's just blatantly a black woman. She's not Egyptian in any way, shape, or form. I can see the issue there. But then white women have played Cleopatra for years. Did these same people file lawsuits then? Or did they file lawsuits when white people have played, I don't know, gods of Egypt? But you probably can't do that because those are not actual people. Or what about Exodus? With Christian Bale running around. Like, that's the complaint. Man, yo, I don't give a fuck. When it comes to like the race bending, they probably shouldn't do it, right? I don't know if she's playing an Egyptian. I think it matters, but I don't think it matters as much as people are saying. But I do think it matters, right? Right, and you should have the same complaints when they're doing race switching for basic shit like fucking comic books and things of that nature. You should complain as well if you're going to complain hard for this, right? As far as that, it's kind of like, it's not as bad, right? If they had like just a straight up white woman playing Cleopatra, I think that would be extremely disrespectful. But it shouldn't matter if it's a black woman if she's not Egyptian. If a black woman is playing her, it's just as disrespectful, right? Like, to someone who grew up within a black community, you would find it as more disrespectful if a white woman is playing her. Someone who grew up as an Egyptian, you will find it offensive if anyone who's not Egyptian plays her. So I understand that completely. Yeah, I get it. Would I cause as much of a fuss over it though? Probably not. I wouldn't sue anybody. I wouldn't care. Motherfuckers been race swapping and doing all this for the longest time. I just use my platform to speak on it if I feel it's too crazy. Kind of like the whole Disney Little Mermaid thing. But after I say my piece on it, there's really not much I can do but just say my piece. So I think there's two different things of if it's a big deal in the first place, and then should you sue or should you just leave it alone if it's right? Yeah, there you go. That's more of an argument. Is it right to do? And then the second argument would be, is it a big enough deal to sue? That's the two arguments. If it's right, no. I think it's the same as having a white woman do it. If the person's not Egyptian and Cleopatra is Egyptian, right? Yeah. I've seen certain people make arguments of, well, if we're going to be 100% historically accurate, she would have looked like this because there's a whole bunch of inbreeding in it. Okay. Can't argue with that either. Bam. Can't argue with that either. So how far does this go, right? If we're going to use that argument, then can we just cast whoever and whatever? How far does that go, right? If we're just going to be like, all right, it's never going to be accurate, so we can cast whoever, then are we going to have a man play Cleopatra one day? Because then there's no limits, right? And then if there are limits and we have to do it as accurate as possible, are we going to have what Cleopatra really would have looked like? Because if that's the case, I don't know if that would be appealing to like what we want to see, because we don't really know. It's kind of all over the place when it comes to this. But I see multiple sides, right? I do see multiple sides of why people would care. I just don't. Right? If I haven't established that, I don't. I wouldn't sue. Motherfuckers, people have been coming out with movies with a race weren't accurate my whole life. I will point it out because it's my job now. But other than that, who cares? Once I point it out, I'm not going to sit here and cry about that shit. You haven't heard me really talk about, besides me bringing it up as a point now, the whole Little Mermaid race swap thing, right? You heard me talk about it when it was announced. me say, yo, this and this is my opinion, and then me move on because there's way more important things to deal with in life, right? So I wouldn't sue. That's one thing. But may they have a point? Possibly.